Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Attention to all. Today we will hold a domestic inquiry related to the case of disciplinary misconduct at Khazanah, Borneo, Sdn Bhd. My name is Nurshima binti Faisal as the chairman of domestic inquiry and senior manager in Khazanah, Borneo, Sdn Bhd. Assisted by Mr. Bill Owante, the deputy chairman as the senior deputy manager, and Ms. Chen Kimche as the secretary and human resource officer. Without wasting our time, I will introduce the line of prosecutors and the line of defense in today's domestic inquiry. First, let me introduce you to the line of prosecutors consisting of Ms. Mela Asyanti as the chief prosecutor and head of human resource department, and will be assisted by Ms. Hazima Shamimi binti Rosli Aliyuddin as the deputy prosecutor and deputy head of human resource department. In the position of defender, we have defender, namely Ms. Sumaya binti Maksud as the chief defender and marketing manager, also assisted by Ms. May Chenda as the deputy defender and accounting clerk. For the most part, the panel member and I will just listening to the proceeding. However, we may ask for more information if something was not clear. This DI or domestic inquiry will be conducted fully in English and not allowed to use abuse and impolite words. Mr. Azmir Afiq bin Nurasad, do you have any objection to the implementation of our appointment as a penalty today? And also objection to the date and time this domestic inquiries was conducted. If you have any objection, please state now and give the reason for the objection made.
No, I don't have objection to the appointment of the panels, the time and the place for this investigation.
The proceeding of this domestic inquiry will be audio tape. Do you have any objection to this?
No, I don't any objection for that.
I understand that you have knowledge receiving notice from this domestic inquiry.
Yes, that's right.
Okay then, thank you Mr. Azmir. Now, I will read the charge made against you. They are as follows. First charge. During the month of May 26, 2021, the accused, Mr. Azmir Afiq bin Nurasad, has been indicted for his guilt of stealing the loss of company and has been seen by the chief store supervisor, Mr. Ahmad Shuib bin Ismail, and failed to give approval of satisfactory explanation. The second charge. During the month of 10 June 2021, the accused has been detected in company CCTV and has complained from Ms. Dwi Endar Zahratunisa Arabi, the store supervisor at Khazanah, Borneo, Sdn Bhd. Mr. Azmir, do you understand this charge against you?
Yes, madam, I understand.
Mr. Azmir Afiq bin Nurasad, I just need to know how you plead to the charge against you. Are you guilty or not guilty?
Madam Chairman, I plead not guilty to the following charge on 26 May 2021.
Alright, without any delay, I would like to give permission to our Deputy Chairman, Mr. Bill Owente, to present this company case.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Now, I will start to present company case. Now, today, domestic inquiry is the last step to process the being with the chief store supervisor, Mr. Ahmad Shuib bin Ismail had failed to complain agent Mr. Amir on 26 May 2021. And his complaint, Mr. Shuib stated Mr. Azmir was taking furniture material without the employee permission. In 10 June 2021, Ms. Dewi Indah Zautonisia Arabi and also the store supervisor in Khazanah, Borneo, Sdn Bhd had cut off execute on CCTV. Now, the company human resource department investigated to conduct an investigation, and the Mr. Shuit complaint on the investigation was that all to conduct and the complaint except to take place demanded that the show cause letter should be issued to Mr. Asmir with him 7 working days to respond, and the letter also achieved he that to being superseded from work to 2 weeks with half pay, and that he will not be allowed to enter the company during that time. The show cause letter has handed to Mr. Asmir on 1 Jan 2021. But Mr. Amir has not respond to show cause letter even when company already give him time 7 working days to reply. So the human resource department just take conclusion that Mr. Asmir really admit that just agent he, but before the investigation was over, Mr. Asmir once again his cuts in CCTV stealing the company furniture material with it. At the time he was not allowed to come to the company as the case released to the first charge was still going, and the second charge with complaint by Miss Dewi, store supervisor in Khazanah, Borneo, Sdn Bhd. The second charge, Mr. Asmir has replied to the shock-off letter and asked to conduct a domestic inquiry for the 2 charges against him. So the company detect to the main problem new disciplinary action to both misconduct. The explanation has prevailed to respond interrogation against he will found to be unsatisfactory. Now, in that point, the company detect to hold domestic inquiry. The panel was informed that domestic inquiry was sent by AR register mail to Mr. Asmir home address on 14 June 2021. Acknowledged that the hard release to the letter was provided to the company on 15 June 2021. So today, the main process we run the domestic inquiry today in the hard to change agent Mr. Asmir Arif bin Rasad are the accused of who is one of the storekeeper in the company Khazanah Borneo Sdn Bhd before having the fund break for research. Also, the company policy will improve the stealing case in talking furniture material without employee permission.
Without any hesitation, I would like to invite the prosecution to begin the case today.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and my greetings to all. My name is Mela Aisanti as Chief Prosecutor. Today, the prosecution would like to present an indictment against one of the employees who worked in Syarikat Khazanah Borneo as a storekeeper. As we know that the employee is stealing and taking out of the furniture materials without company permission. The accused is Mr. Asmir Afiq bin Rasa. Mr. Asmir has been indicted for his guilt of stealing and loss the company, which started on 26 May 2021. First loss was RM 3,000, which is the first witness Mr. Shu'aib. Since the accused removing materials furniture from store in a suspicious condition, and second loss occurred on 10 June 2021 with an estimate of losses is 1,500, which is Miss Dwi as second witness arrested the accused on CCTV. So total amount the loss suffered from our company is 4,500. According to Syarikat Khazanah Borneo policy in the conduct and discipline section, namely items 5.3, which state the conviction after the investigation is completed will be subject and disciplinary action in accordance with the procedure of dealing with employees' misconduct. Mr. Asmir has violated policies and regulation of the company. Therefore, accused Mr. Chairman, allow me to ask questions to the accused.
Alright, please.
Thank you, Sir Chairman. So, Mr. Asmir, I wanted to ask you, is it true that you taken furniture materials without permission of the employer about 2 times, which is on 26 May 2021 and 10 June 2021? And can you explain to me what is your reason? Whether salary given by the company sufficient for your needs or lacking, so you are stealing?
On 26 May 2021, I did release the furniture, but I forgot to record it in the production record. However, for the 10 June 2021, I admit taking the furniture without permission and not recording it intentionally. I pleaded not guilty for the following charge on 26 May 2021, and I pleaded guilty for the charge on 10 June 2021, and I apologize for the mistake I made. I hereby wish an internal investigation to be conducted for me to defend myself and prove my innocence for the following charge on 26 May 2021.
May I ask who directed you to do that?
Nobody. I do it of my own free will.
Are you were forced by someone or you did it intentionally?
I did it willingly without order from anyone.
Defender, do you have any statement to make?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. I would like to state that I support Mr. Azmir's innocence on May 26. I do not believe that Mr. Azmir committed the offense of theft because we have material evidence to prove the matter. On June 10, 2026, Mr. Azmir had committed an act of theft out of dissatisfaction with the changes leveled against him. Given that on 26 May, Mr. Azmir pleaded not guilty, and on 10 June, he pleaded guilty, and we also have evidence to prove that Mr. Azmir is not guilty. In this matter too, Mr. Azmir has pleaded guilty, and he deeply regrets his actions. So, I hope that the panel can give Mr. Azmir a chance.
Excuse me, Madam Chairman, allow me to ask questions to the witness from defenders.
Alright, Ms. Chen, please call defender's witness to enter the meeting room.
On 26 May 2021, I did release the furniture, but I forgot to record it in the production record. However, for the 10 June 2021, I admit taking the furniture without permission and not recording it intentionally. I pleaded not guilty for the following charge on 26 May 2021, and I pleaded guilty for the charge on 10 June 2021, and I apologize for the mistake I made. I hereby wish an internal investigation to be conducted for me to defend myself and prove my innocence for the following charge on 26 May 2021.
May I ask who directed you to do that?
Nobody. I do it of my own free will.
Are you were forced by someone or you did it intentionally?
I did it willingly without order from anyone.
Defender, do you have any statement to make?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. I would like to state that I support Mr. Azmir's innocence on May 26. I do not believe that Mr. Azmir committed the offense of theft because we have material evidence to prove the matter. On June 10, 2026, Mr. Azmir had committed an act of theft out of dissatisfaction with the changes leveled against him. Given that on 26 May, Mr. Azmir pleaded not guilty, and on 10 June, he pleaded guilty, and we also have evidence to prove that Mr. Azmir is not guilty. In this matter too, Mr. Azmir has pleaded guilty, and he deeply regrets his actions. So, I hope that the panel can give Mr. Azmir a chance.
Excuse me, Madam Chairman. Allow me to ask questions to the witness from defenders.
Alright, Ms. Chen, please call defender's witness to enter the meeting room.
Please call defender Mr. Erickson to come into the meeting room right now.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. So, I will start to give my first question. Good morning and thank you for coming today, Mr. Erickson. Mr. Erickson, what is your position and scope of work in the company?
Good morning and thank you. Firstly, my name is Erickson Gada Nanima as the factory operator of Khazanah, Borneo. Factory workers' duties include processing the products based on the required quantity and specification, labeling, and safety packaging the merchandise.
Mr. Erickson, was there any complaint made towards the accused?
Yes, there is a complaint that has been made by the witness 1 for seeing the defendant remove the assets and the furniture from the store in a suspicious condition. Witness 2 saw the accused produce asset and furniture in the CCTV footage.
Do you have any evidence to show that the accused was not stealing the furniture on 26 May 20 and 21?
Yes, I have evidence to show Mr. Azmir was not guilty for the first case on May 26, 2021. I have made a review with respect to the production of storage data on 26th of May. On May 26, the buyer was led to inform that they had made some changes to the purchased item. This has caused Mr. Azmir to forget to update the storage production data to the latest data. Mr. Azmir did not took the items, but he forgot to update the latest storage production data. Here is in my hand is the production of storage data on May 26, 2021.
Did the accused make a confession that he pleaded guilty in the case?
Yes, but I can state evidence that his statement on the May 26 case is true. The accused pleaded not guilty and there was evidence to suggest that he was indeed innocent. On the second charge, he accused plead guilty.
Madam Chairman, I have finished asking to Mr. Erickson a question. Thank you.
We already knew that the defender witness gave the evidence. He said that the buyer was late to inform that they had made some changes to the purchased item. This has caused Mr. Azmir to forget to update the storage production data to the latest data. But it seemed like it's not enough in judgment. So I hope Madam let me call the second defense witness to add for clarification. Thank you.
Sure, Ms. Chen, please call the next defender's witnesses to enter the meeting room now.
Please call the next defender witness, Mr. Khazanah Satun, to come into the meeting right now.
Mr. Khazanah Satun, you are working as a service manager for Khazanah Borneo company. Is that correct?
Thank you. My name is Khazanah Satun. Greeting to all my friends. Yes, I have been working as service manager at Khazanah Borneo company for over 20 years.
As a service manager of the head office, you should know our company closes at 5 p.m. on Friday, or sometimes some employees ask you to work after 5 p.m. Is that right? And the person who saw Mr. Azmir stole furniture from the store by catching on CCTV footage, what time did she inform you and when was he catched on the CCTV?
Yes, that's right. The time she informed me when she found him on the CCTV is after working hours on 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. if I am not mistaken. Other than that, after the incident, Mr. Erickson said that he there to check back the latest update. The latest update he has identified that Mr. Azmir forgot to update the latest storage production data. And I look in the system that I found that the system was listed in the purchase from the change item. At the time, it was also not in the list item. That we now update in the storage production data.
Excuse me, gentlemen. Before we continue, did the prosecution have CCTV footage at the time of the incident?
Yes, Ma'am Chairman. We already have the CCTV footage and I will show it now. So based on this evidence or the case of June 10, 2021, we can see in this recording someone who is believed to be Mr. Azmir has transferred company furniture materials. On the other side of the CCTV in front of the company's exit, a truck was seen being loaded with the materials. On the CCTV view of the outside of the company also showed the truck moving out of the company area. Given that the asset furniture is heavy, Mr. Azmir couldn't do it by himself and at least need two people to pick it up. So, I think someone conspired with Mr. Azmir to steal the items. I have done asked the question. Thank you, Mr. Khazanah, for spending your time to give more evidence.
Excuse me, Madam Chairman. Allow me to ask questions to the witness from prosecutor.
Yes, please. Prosecutors. Ms. Chen, please call the prosecutor's witnesses. Enter the meeting room now.
Please call prosecutor witness Mr. Azmir Shuaib bin Ismail to come into the meeting room right now.
Mr. Ahmad Shuaib bin Ismail, firstly I want to ask you what is your position in Khazanah Borneo Sendirian Berhad, and do you have any proof to prove that Mr. Azmir guilty?
Firstly, I as a chief supervisor store in Khazanah Borneo Sendirian Berhad, where every piece of furniture that came in and out I will take records, and the employees who worked that day as well. After closing the furniture production records that day, I thought that the furniture has been removed from the store in excess of the quantity requested. At the same time, Mr. Azmir was on duty that day.
Can I ask, what is your action after knowing the situation?
I have lodged a complaint with the management. This is because the amount of loss is very large and I do not want to be blamed if any problems occur in the future.
So, Mr. Shuaib, you said that you did not ask questions first to Mr. Azmir and continue to make complaints?
Yes.
May I know, has the company ever asked Mr. Azmir about this?
Actually, Mr. Azmir has been given a warning letter. But the first charge, Mr. Azmir did not reply to the show cause letter. The second charge, Mr. Azmir already gave the show cause letter. Before the investigation, and however, accused has made another mistake of telling without stating reasonable reason.
How many times complaints that Mr. Azmir's got?
Complaints has been made 2 times. The first on 26 May 2021 and the second complaint on 28 October 2021.
On his answers, it is still not enough to prove that Mr. Azmir is guilty. I believe he is innocent because he is the storekeeper of the company. Given his position in his work is important. In addition, I can feel in this case, the superiors do not have good communications with the subordinates. This is because when the matter happened, Mr. Shuaib should ask Mr. Azmir and ask for his opinion. But Mr. Shuaib did not do so and lead to injustice for Mr. Azmir. I believe that he would not do such a thing to tarnish his reputation.
Alright, does the defender have anything to criticize?
Thank you, the court chairman. The accused has already been given the warning letter. I understood that he is not doing something again that he was. Excuse me, Madam Chairman, allow me to ask question to the next witness from the prosecution.
Please, prosecutor. Ms. Chan, please call the last prosecutor witness to enter the meeting room.
Please call the last prosecutor witness, Miss Dewi Endor Arabi, to come into the meeting room right now.
Well, witness, can you introduce your name and your position in Khazanah, Borneo?
First of all, my name is Dewi Arabi. I hold the position of store supervisor at Khazanah, Borneo, and my job is to design job direction to employees. Here is some of my scope of duties at this company, shall like create and schedule of employees' activity, evaluate the role of the employees, find solution to problem that arise in the field, monitor the performance of employees, cover various input and critique from employees to manager, and also create and implement short-term work strategy.
Alright, Ms. Devi, I saw one of your job in this company is monitor the performance of employee and also find solution to solve the problem that arise in the field. So here is my question for you. Can you explain what do you see the CCTV footage? I mean the details such as what did Mr. Asmi have done the cause, and Mr. Devi to claim he's committed this offense, and what is your action for this case when it happened?
On June 10, 2010, when a conduct supervisor checked through CCTV that is done regularly and found movement from Mr. Asmir on CCTV that issue asset and furniture and stranger with an unnatural amount that does not match the list of consumer orders. This has aroused my suspicion, so I checked the sales that day and found the amount revenue was not the same as the amount that had been sold out. The day after seeing the incident, I immediately complained to the relevant manager. I did not take action to meet the accused because I knew the time he has arrested for not coming to the company, so I quickly went to complain about this problem to higher management.
So, Ms. Devi, I think you are the party responsible for contesting for solution the problem that arises in the field. But in this situation, why you just like your subordinate and do not take further action to help or seek a clarification from the accused first?
I did not take action to meet the accused because I knew the time he was arrested for not coming to the company, so I quickly went on to complain about this problem to higher management. I only did it because I thought it was the best and did not want to complete measures future. Although he is my subordinate, I have to, according to the company protocol has been set.
Well, thank you, Ms. Devi, for your answer. So, based on the report on June 10, 2021, Ms. Devi continued to file a complaint without asking the accused from Mr. Asmi first. Without seeking clarification from the accused, continued to complain about the problem to his superior. In this regard, I do not deny, although it is already an application to follow the company protocol. But as ahead, Ms. Devi should have communicated with Mr. Asmi first before making any further decision to Mr. Asmi. And Mr. Asmi had catch on CCTV that is used to natural material from the storage with an unnatural amount that does not match with the layer of customer order. But he is entitled to defend himself first. Before any decision is made, I cannot deny is the case Mr. Asmi was best forward to Mr. Asmi.
I would like to ask the prosecution, is there anything that needs to be criticized or objected to in relation to the statement issued by the defense just now?
Yes, Madam Chairman. Allow me to state the previous argument. Based on what has been stated by Ms. Dwi on June 10, 20 and 21, it's clear that Mr. Azmir is guilty. Mr. Azmir's actions have also clearly violated the work ethic, which is likely to tarnish the good name of the Khazanah Borneo. I will support Ms. Dwi's action and would like to emphasize that as one of the employees in the company, she is also bound by the rules and protocol in the company. Employee responsibilities should also adhere to company protocols that have been outlined for all employees. Not only that, if this matter is left alone and happens again in the future, it can hinder the progress of the company. Therefore, this problem needs to be taken action so that it does not happen again. So, I support Ms. Dwi action.
Alright, does the prosecutor have any statement to release?
Alright, all of you, this is my evidence collection. In fact, it's the income statement that was clearly shown by the first defense witness who forgot to update the storage production data on 26 May. In addition, on 10 June, arrest the accused on CCTV, but I strongly support the statement made by the deputy defendant earlier in relation to the communication that Ms. Dwi should have made against the accused. Although Ms. Dwi should follow the company protocol, but Mr. Azmir should be given the right to speak. In addition, I feel that two-way communication does not happen here because Ms. Dwi took her own decision when making the complaint. And this is the attendance list given by Chai Werner.
Alright, the panel accepted the statement as evident.
Given that both parties have finished with their respective agreements and have finished calling their respective witnesses, then the internal investigation panel asks both parties to conduct a weeding up of the investigation case today. We start weeding up the case from the prosecution first. You may start now.
Dear Madam Chairman, although the indictment on May 26 has proven that Mr. Azmir not guilty, however, on the second charge, which is on June 10, 2021, the accused has pleaded guilty. This action has violated the policy of Khazanah Borneo Company, and any employee who commits such offence should be subject to action. Therefore, I hope that the chairperson and the rest of the panel can consider all the evidence and arguments that have been given. In addition, I request the chairman and the internal investigation that the punishment to be imposed on the accused must be commensurate with the offence that has been committed, and at the same time, the prosecution insists that Mr. Azmir is guilty of the charge on June 10, 2021. That's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you to the prosecution for closing the case just now. Next, the defense was invited to win up the investigation case today. You may start now.
Dear Madam Chairman, finally of the task accusation involved employee misconduct investigation of Khazanah Borneo Company. I observed seeing the complaint was related to poor communication skill between superior and subordinate here. Therefore, Madam Chairman and rest of the panel at here, let me show some evidence that I have collected about it. What the matter is, all store supervisors are not participating with their subordinate. First spoken word from Mr. Sueb. Mr. Azmir has been given a warning letter, but he didn't reply to the showcase. In addition, the second charge, Mr. Azmir already given the showcase letter without standing a reasonable reason. And from the different witness, Mr. Azmir, after seeing the incident, she immediately complained to the relevant management. Ms. Devi should have communicated with Mr. Asmi first before making any further decision to avoid case as a first complaint. Even if Mr. Asmi argued he focused on 10 June 2021, but I'm strongly convinced him that he is also regret with his action. Anyway, we should improve structure in our company to be better. That's all about my investigation winding up case today. Thank you.
Well, before making our final decision, the penalty party will take a few minutes to review the final decision on this case. Thank you. Well, now it's time for us, the panel, to announce the decision on today's case, which is store guard involved in stealing case in taking furniture materials without employee's permission. It's all about the complaint that had been made by witness 1 from seeing the accused remove the assets and furniture from the store in a suspicious condition. Mr. Eric had shown the evidence to clarify Mr. Asmir was not guilty for first case of May 26, 2021. First, the review with respect to the production of storage data on 26 May 2021, which buyer was led to inform they had made some change to the purchased item. Moreover, this is the cause Mr. Asmir to forgot to update the storage production data to the latest data. From this case, Mr. Asmir is the accused wasn't charged to be a guilt, and the evidence to suggest that he was indeed innocent. To add more clarification, evidence answer from Mr. Khazanah as a second witness. He said that he is there to check back the latest update, and he has identified that Mr. Asmir forgot to update the latest storage production data. The system was checked, then the items was listed in the purchase items data. In addition, all the evidence get from the witnesses in domestic inquiry investigation of accused Mr. Asmir or June 10, 2021 case. Firstly, evidence from Deputy Prosecutor had the CCTV footage, and it had been shown, based on the evidence of CCTV footage, in this recording of someone who was believed to be Mr. Asmir had transferred company furniture materials on the another side of the CCTV in front of the company axis. A truck was seen being loaded with the materials. Next, on the CCTV view of the outside of the company also showed the truck moving out of the company area. More exactly, point evidence shown by Mr. Shuib is a witnesses from prosecutor. He is a chief supervisor store in Khazanah, Borneo, who respond to input and output from furniture items. He found that the furniture had been removed from the store in excess amount, the quality requested at the same time in the data of CCTV footage. Especially, Mr. Asmir was on duty in that day, but he was on an order to not come to work. But his involvement appeared that day to have provided strong evidence of the second charge. Finally, evidence has given by Ms. Dwi as a witnesses from prosecutor. The case on June 10, 2021, she conducted surveillance check through CCTV that is done regularly. The movement from Mr. Asmir on CCTV that issues asset and furniture in storage with a natural amount that does not match with the list of customer orders. The amount of revenue was not the same as the amount that had been sold on that day. All the evidence were collected to plead Mr. Asmir is guilty of case on June 10, 2021. After a unanimous vote, the panel of judges agreed to hand down the sentence that the charge on May 26, 2021 had been dropped and declared to not guilty. However, for the second charge on June 10, 2021, Mr. Asmir was found guilty based on the evidence and agreements presented. This panel has passed a sentences the accused and Asmir Afiq bin Rasad to among suspicions without pay, which come into effect after the domestic inquiry was completed.
This decision is also made by taking into company policy of Khazanah Borneo Sdn Bhd in the misconduct and discipline section, namely item 5.3, which state the conviction after the investigation is completed will be subject to a disciplinary action in accordance with the procedure of dealing with employees' misconduct. Therefore, the result of the internal investigation today are final. Thank you.